So what's on your mind? Where are you in your life, and what is it? What would you like to know that there's a possibility that maybe I could share something with you that would give you the answer you're looking for?
Thank you so much. I've been kind of feeling into that throughout moving through my busy day today. And there's a really clear, just in my day-to-day, I've been exerting a lot of energy in a contemplation around my relationship, my partnership, I just had a baby 7 weeks ago, and with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's like an obvious, because there's some confusion, and it's a very uncomfortable place that I'm in. So that's an obvious one. And then there's the curiousness around my love work in the world, which I'm clear on what that's meant to be, but it's not happening.
With your what work?
My love work, like the way that I'm meant to be a service and also make money. And they say in different realms, like, love and money or romance and finance. And those are just the very glaring, obvious things that we could, and it might probably be helpful to talk about.
Yes.
And as I was observing the obviousness of those things, I felt called to just say, is there anything that, from that which is more clear seeing than me, is there anything that is meant to come in first, or so it's kind of.
I think I have the answer to that already, and the answer is yes. Mm-hmm. And the answer as to what it is that comes in first, and that is the rest of your realization, the rest of your, and it's not something for you to achieve. It's something that you open into receiving. In other words, if you were an eternal creator being manifesting universes like this one every now and then, investing part of your consciousness here, and allowing things to develop in an individuated way, where your consciousness populates the creation. So when it's time for each part of you to come home, do they come home as the creation, as the story, as the body, or do they come home and actually just remembering who and what they are, and bringing that eternal essence of truth and beauty and love and understanding? You are that which sees clearly. You are that which moves divinely. And that thing that has to come in before you serve lovingly is more of your essence and presence than what you've been operating in when you've been operating according to how we deal with each other here in the way that the world has been. We're a collective consciousness, individuated, but we have our rules and regulations and what's possible, what's not possible, what's right and what's wrong. And everybody kind of learns those rules and operates within them. But at the point that we get tired of the game or playing our role and peek behind the mask to see who we really are, apart from the role that we've been playing. That's when we have to make a decision. Do we come back into our embodiment, in our truth, in our freedom, in our mastery, in our wisdom, in our unconditional love? Because it's not about allowing those thoughts and ideas and beliefs and traumas and history and roles and personality and identity say who we are to ourselves anymore. You know, so that's part of that has to get out of the way, not all of it. You know, because you still want to relate to people, you still want to relate to life, you still want to relate to society, you still, you know, want to play part of the roles that you've been playing here. You want to continue on with them. You know, so how much of an awakening does it take for you to be moving in your grace and your love and your mastery and your wisdom? You know, if you're at, now when I assess myself, it's always way less than 1%. And so I say, you know, if I only just came in, and of course you can't measure the infinite, you know, but it's just an exercise in mind games to get us to the point where we say, okay, I give up, I surrender, I allow the divine to be in charge. And then as you feel that embrace, and you all choose to open and receive it in all parts of your body, your mind, your soul, it reorients you. You begin to remember. It begins to feel like home. So your homework is be at home divinely within your body. And everything else will become obvious from there. I'm not saying that you shouldn't live and commune with spirit guides and advisors and loved ones. I'm just saying, be enough of your truth that sets you free. That you don't need the help, but you enjoy the companionship. Yeah. You know, be here as a clear enough reflection of the divine truths that, when realized, sets an identity, a personality, a body free. You know, it's okay. You know, it's okay to just open and surrender till you're experiencing that transformative transformational shift, you know, that quantum leap, that instantaneous. You know, they say you're supposed to work at it for forever, and of course you're supposed to work at it for forever and never succeed like everybody else. But while you're doing that, also allow yourself to remember. And by remember, I mean putting that reality back together within your experience of yourself. Not a glimpse, not a feeling, not a passing thought, but actually, what does your body feel like when you're eternally, authentically, and universally does the body feel like? There's no more doubts left. There's no more thoughts left. There's no more ideas or concepts or belief systems. Because you're coming in as your truth. It's the creator consciousness. So that's it. Come into your body as your truth and allow that sublime truth to merge with your profane truths, which are your circumstantial truths, your relationships, your obligations, your thoughts and ideas and beliefs and history and personality and identity. And all of that unconsciousness that we've all been hanging around with and as.
Mm-hmm.
And the divine and the profane share the same body, share the same space, comprehend each other without fear, without judgment, vulnerable, open, feeling, and saying, what's the truth of all of me? What's it like when my body is fully aware of my wholeness, of my embodied personality? What happens to that? When it chooses to open to the truth, because all consciousness is divine consciousness, just in various states of over-identification and the resulting confusion that comes from it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay. It's okay to just take a step back, be still, and to remember. Take a vacation from your circumstances, from your body, from your thoughts, from your relationships. Just say, what am I beyond all of this context? And feel that. Yeah, now you can breathe. Yeah. You, the truth of you is a breath of fresh air. Unsuppressed, free flowing, love sharing. And that is what I want from you as another living human on earth. I would like you to be free. I would like you to be authentically you. I'd like you to amaze the rest of us with your grace, with your wisdom, with your compassion, with your love, with your healing presence that invites us to choose better for ourselves. It's okay for each of us to connect with divine truth and allow it to act upon us and refine us. And move us to the point where we snap out of the role that we've been playing, the story that we've been living, and instead find our actuality, our undefined essence, the truth that existed before the body and well after. And if we live as that, then you'll be a blessing to the rest of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
First and fully to yourself, though. You know, you get to go free, so to speak, within the context of you living your story, your life. And, you know, your history will still be your history. Your story will still be your story. Your body isn't going to change into a different kind of animal or another human, you know. You'll be using the same tool that you've lived with your entire life. But now you're open to consider what you can do with it, how you can improve it, how you can optimize it. From a state, of grace, as I were. Yeah. You have to be okay with the body being a body.
Mm.
I have to be okay with the one that I've got. I criticize it nearly all day, every day, wishing it was something else as I shove the sugar in my mouth. You know, it's really, it's quite embarrassing, actually, you know, the level of consciousness that I choose to be here, you know, because everybody judges you for everything that they can perceive about you and say, well, obviously, she can't control herself around cookies and ice cream. You know, I'm speaking for myself, of course. Well, what does that say about character? What does that say about consciousness? What does that say about loving your body and loving your expression and being here in a way that gives other people peace and yourself? This is time to be at peace within your experience of yourself. It's something that I'm beginning to experience for myself. For the first time in my life, I'm beginning to love being me.
Yay!
Yeah. So, and if I can do it, you know, I know a lot of extraordinary people say if they can do it, anybody can do it. Whatever it is that they're experts at, nobody else is. And nobody else, frankly, is really going to be in their category. But this part is true. If the universe is structured the way that it is, and consciousness, a little lower, please. Ariel, Maddie?
Yeah.
So with consciousness being structured the way that it is, and those communication lines coming into the body, you know, it's so easily distracted and so easily pulled off center, just like I just was, because, you know, somebody having a conversation. Because what it does is it say, should I be paying attention to this? And it pulls my awareness over there, because I assume that, you know, there's something that I need to know about. And so it pulls me away from my focus on you. And yet, that shouldn't be the case. You know, I should come here cleanly enough, loving enough, able enough to appreciate that life is the way that it is. Certainly should never be knocked off center for the world not being perfectly in sync the way I want it to be, right? That's not an enlightened being.
Mm.
So, okay, so here's the next part for you. You're a beautiful woman, and you're not a girl, So you've done well in maintaining the beauty that you were born with. You're obviously caring for your body and your appearance, and you've been rewarded for it. The world treats you well because when we look at you, we tend to smile, because you're a pleasant experience for the rest of us, visually. That can be a blessing and a curse, it gives you an advantage, But sometimes it makes it too easy on you, too. And what happens when we have it too easy to where we're enjoying life in a physical way, in a sensual way, then what need do we have for meditating 2 hours a day? What need do we have for considering the meaning of life, and if we have a purpose here that we had a divine intention to accomplish before we were born. If you don't ask that question and get the answer, then how do you ever know what to do with yourself here? So you've got to not be so comfortable in the comfort that you've created for yourself in terms of the structure of your life. Meaning, congratulations, for being in the level of ease and happiness, despite your unhappiness, but comparatively, life is generally good for you.
Mm.
And so when life is generally good for somebody, and they then relax and just enjoy their life, how do you become extraordinary? How do you come to terms with the word magnificent and awesome? How would you experience the resulting energy behind those words, the consciousness that said this quality of experience fits this definition? How do you push yourself, or how do you open yourself for something that typically takes a lot of effort, to master anything, 10,000 hours, right? Except for the cheat codes. You're going to continue being who you are, and you're going to fall. If your life is like an arrow being shot through the air, you're already in motion, and your direction is already evident. And when you've got that motion, you got those relationships, you got those obligations, you got everything that you have as a life. There's only one real way of changing that fundamentally, and that's a full awakening. A complete shift of your identity from your human orientation to your divine realization. There's no tricks to how you do it. Well, there are tricks, but it's not so mysterious. You're the divine being, carrying around thoughts, ideas, and beliefs, and judgments, and cellular memories for going back millions of years. And so, you're like a nightlight in a garbage dump of communications of one kind or another, and you're trying to see clearly, and yet the creation is infinite that you're trying to see through or comprehend. And if you spend your precious years educating yourself, trying to create a map of reality with the appropriate to-do list so that your life is good and hopefully worth living in retrospect. For me, I don't have any of those luxuries, I'm a lot older than you are. I've been a lot worse of a person than you have been. And so how do you make your life worth living when you're not comfortable, you're uncomfortable? You're uncomfortable because you've disappointed so many people, including yourself. Well, first of all, you have to be honest about that. You have to say, okay, I did disappoint potentially everybody I ever met in one way or another. And nothing that I ever said was communicated from a being experiencing divine love and cosmic wisdom, and yet that's the truth of you. So what does it take for you to say yes to you? Yes to your truth, despite the fact that nobody you know is living theirs. One trick that I use, and I think it's true actually, that it's a trick, but it's not. It's true, but it's a lie. It's first time I'm going to take mushrooms tonight, later, and the first time I ever took them, about 25 years ago, I was in a room full of maybe 20 people. And I took twice as much as everybody else did. I took some and I thought, well, this isn't enough. So I took more, and then I had my crossover experience from a heroic dose. And everybody else that took the mushrooms was sitting quietly with their head down. And I was up walking around the house, trying to figure out the structure of reality and what had happened to me to end up in a body like this. And I stopped walking and I stood in front of this girl. And I had the thought, even though they're all seemingly sleepy, I'm the one that's asleep. They're all awake. They're all just waiting for me to wake up so I can join the party that's already in motion. And the only reason that they're doing the things that they're doing is because they're giving me somebody to interact with at the level of consciousness that I'm at. And they're just pretending to be that until I come to my senses and choose to awaken. And I'm, in fact, the only one sleeping. Now, when you're the last one and everybody else is spiritually cheering you on, say, you can do it, Dave, you can do it. You can say yes to the truths. Finally. Thank God. And I open up a little bit more, and my life gets better. So, that's the secret. Open and be free. Open and be you. Open and be true to yourself, to your eternal nature, to your authenticity, to your creator consciousness. How? Just say yes to the impossible. That as you look through your eyes, it's God looking at the rest of us. The goddess of creation, the goddess of love. There, okay. There, yes, okay. Oh, that's feeling nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's what we need from you. We need your flow of your serenity, of your grace, of your blessing to the rest of us. That your space is the space that invites our awakening. That invites our realization of our truth. Sorry that it took so long, but it's sure starting to feel good for me. And I don't know which or how many of your questions that answered, but if there's anything you want to ask or say, the floor is yours.
Thank you, David.
Okay.
It's just wonderful to be here with you.
Well, the pleasure is mine, and the honor is yours, because if you weren't here, I wouldn't have done what I just done. I wouldn't be feeling what I just felt. And I wouldn't be open like I'm open right now. And so that's why I did. So this is my love work, and it's a greedy and selfish one too, because I do it because I could be at peace for a time. That I'm doing this every day now. You know, you ask about your loving gift. Well, you know how long I've been begged by the universe to do this? It's been virtually 22 years.
That's it?
22 years since I, could have a session with somebody that they valued, once they experienced it. And yet I decided that everything else in life was more pressing, more necessary. And then when I finally got to the point where people normally retire, and I'm still planning out 5 or 10 years more, I thought, okay, so I've just admitted that I'm never actually going to do what I came here to do. And share what I came here to share. And I mentioned this to a friend of mine that was helping me in my business, and he essentially fired me. And he says, "You're not needed here anymore. You get your paycheck. I'll let you know once a week what's going on. But Go paint your paintings. Go do your sessions. And then when I couldn't figure out how to do even that, how do you turn on the camera without help? Right? How do you find somebody to talk to without help? I was talking to Ariel and I told her how absolutely pathetic I am. She says, "Oh, I'll lend you some of my grace and presence. I'm on my way. I'm bringing a videographer, and we're going to help you out of the kindness of our hearts." And they've been here for a month, and now, almost every day, I'm doing what I love. And it's probably really the only thing that I do in my life that I'm good at. And so on yours, whatever your love work is, I love to see what that is. And I love to give you an attaboy and say, seriously consider adding some new people in your life. If you got 25 regulars in your life, take the bottom 5 of them. Wish them a beautiful life. Explain that because of changes that you're making, this is almost a goodbye. There's not going to be much contact anymore because you're dedicating yourself to your life purpose, which requires a refocus of your energies and your how you interact with the world. You're taking on your ministry, and now you have to let go of the things that are socially supportive, friendly. You know how many new friends I've made in the last 90 days? Friends that are as kind and loving to me as the ones that I've kept for decades because they were kind and loving to me. And so, what did I essentially do? I essentially let go of about 20 people. I did the opposite. I kept 5 and let go of 20. And I'm replacing them with people who are choosing to love, or who do love. And for people who, like you, want to share their love with the rest of the world. And that's a new space for me. To have those people be who I'm associated with instead of somebody I'm trying to figure out in business how they're going to try and cheat me one way or another. Silly, stupid things. And so for me, it's getting really simple. That is, what does my body need and want to optimize and harmonize and feel loved and to feel loving? And so I'm setting some boundaries for the first time in my life. I'm setting a schedule for the first time in my life. Even though I'm in business, my business has always been chaotic and kind of free flowing and no regimentation to it at all. Now that I'm free to do anything that I want to, I'm planning out my day. I'm setting the schedule. And why? Because, if I'm doing it the way that we're doing it right now, it doesn't happen by accident. So we're taking the actual actions that will result in me delivering the best of myself in the best way that I can, so that I feel like today my life was worth living. Today my life was a benefit to humanity. So you don't have to think about the completion of your life's work. But you can do it tomorrow, for a day, or for like me, for an hour or two. And share that loving part of yourself, whatever it is, with somebody tomorrow, even if they don't pay you. I'm not suggesting you should do like I do and find ways to make money so that I can do my love gift work for free. You know, I'm not challenging that, because I like this being a gift. You know? I don't want somebody to wonder whether they can pay me for a session and pay their electric bill too. You know? And so that's my excuse for working for 65 years to make money and then saving it, so that then I can do my gift. You know, so the bottom line is, I'm not quite sure what to tell you about the money aspect of your love career, other than to say, if you're truly giving the best of yourself in such a way that it touches other people's hearts, it stimulates their appreciation for beauty and for whatever else it is that comes when you're communicating that gift that you have for the rest of us.
Where are you? Where are you located?
I'm in Oregon.
Uh-huh.
In Portland. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's it. Oh, look at that.
This is Matea.
Matea.
Hi, David.
We have a Matu here. Hi, Matea.
He said hi.
Okay. So what is your love gift?
There are three. The one that has been with me all along, which when you said it took you 22 years, I said only? Joking, because it's, how long some of us will go, a lifetime, right? Sometimes without getting to a yes or a surrender.
Yes.
The thing that's never let me go and never given up on me is to sing. And I mean, literally, what that looks like is I can make an appointment finally to the dentist, or I just had a baby, I think I mentioned, and I'm taking care of my body in a way that I've never done. I have appointments, and I'm celebrating that in this moment, hearing you and honoring to a level in a way that I haven't honored this vessel. And it's thanks to Portland. It's actually providing for me and supporting me in such a big way. And I can have a voice lesson with somebody, even though I have a 7-week-old baby and a 5-year-old and a relationship that I have no idea what's going to happen, and a house that I have no idea what's going to happen. I can have a voice lesson once a week. And it is, it's the first step. It's the
hope,
first step, and it's so simple and so available.
I assume you sing for your children?
There's a lot around this. I have, and there's times when I do. But there's been a lot there. And there's been little moments from time to time over the past 15 years where the truth through sound has snuck through, at least through singing sound.
Yes.
The truth's come through quite a bit in my voice and my speaking. And I've met the truth enough that I can't deny it.
Okay. Well, I want to tell you a long story, as short as I can, that might have a lesson in it for you on your singing. When my first son was born, and in the first week, I was with his mother, and she was holding him on the couch, and he was crying, and I said, "Sing him a lullaby." And she said, "I don't sing." And I said, "Of course you do. Everybody sings. It doesn't matter what you sound like, just sing." And she says, "I can't. I don't. I won't." and so I quieted him down and put him to sleep. And I said, "When was the last time you sung?" And she said, "When I was 5 years old." And she at that time was 40 or so. And I said, "What happened when you were 5 years old?" And she says, "I was with my friends in church, sitting together, making fun of how bad everybody else was singing the church songs. And so that we weren't criticized, we'd just move our mouths and pretend to sing. And then we'd criticize everybody else how bad they were." And so that cursed her from 5 years old to 40 years old, she didn't sing a note. And so I said, "Would you like to be able to sing?" And she said, "Yeah, I would." I said, "Yeah, would you like to be able to sing a lullaby to your baby?" And she said, "I'd like to, but there's no way. I can't." And so I said, "Well, humor me and let me see if there's a way that you can." And so I said, say without any melody, and just say the words, "Lullaby" and "Good night." And she said, "I can't." I said, "Why not? They're just words." She says, "Yeah, but they're words to a song, and you're trying to get me to sing. I can't say them." I said, Can you hum? Can you?" Mm-hmm. And she said, "No." I said, "Lay down on the couch." And I covered her up with a blanket and put a pillow over her head. And I said, "Can you say the words now?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Can you hum?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Can you think of the word?" And so I had to go all the way to 0 of getting her to be willing to think of a word, knowing that it was a song, and it was something that she was traumatized about. But once she took the first step, in 30 minutes of then going up the gradient, she had the baby in her arms singing. 30 minutes. Not 30 years, 30 minutes. Find where you're at ease. Find your peace. Find your starting point. And sing.
Wow, David. And I thank you.
You're welcome.
If that story was the only love that you gave in your whole lifetime, that is magnificent love right there. If that was all that you ever gave, and I know in this moment that it's not, it would be enough for a good life.
Thank you.
For a great life. For a successful, in the high sense, life. That is a remarkably beautiful love story that you just shared with me.
Thank you. There's always a starting point for change. And you have to make it irresistibly easy to be successful. It's like I had a friend whose wife was 150 pounds overweight. And she wanted a treadmill for Christmas. And he bought it for her under the condition that she run on it for a half hour every day. And I said, you won't be able to get her to do it one time. It will never be used. There's only one way you can get her to do it. And they had it set up between the living room and the kitchen, so you had to walk by it every time you went to either one. And I said, have it set up so that it's on. And each time that she walks from one room to another, she has to step on it and take one step. One step. Now what will happen is that that's a low enough gradient where she can do that and make it easier. That, if she's in a rush, she doesn't have to do it, but she has to do it, at least once an hour as she's walking between the rooms. Step up on there, take one step. And I said, what's going to happen is there'll come a time when she takes 2, and then 4, and then 8, and then 100, and then 1,000. And then she's going to start being proud of herself for the fact that she's doing something for her body. And then she'll start enjoying it. So, be easy on yourself. And allow yourself to start from where you are. It's like, you see this painting behind me that I did today? It's not so easy to see. Let's see. Okay, so it's a nice message that I had in a mushroom ceremony, And my goal is to, paint every day. And so I'm just taking the things that I say in the sessions where it's something that I like, and say, okay, I'm going to do a painting that's that. Not everything that I paint is just words on top of colors. That's why you love the one you're with, because the pathway to freedom might be right in front of you. So that's what I share in my paintings, just little quotes of things that I say. And so what I'm going to do tomorrow, from what I talked to you about today, is I'm going to go back and listen to it. I'm going to say, what did I say that's worth me picking up a paintbrush and putting it on the canvas? And so I was trying to make a point. Sorry, I got way off track. I was saying, okay, I had this big list of things I had to do before I could paint. And then I meditated and realized that I was completely deluded. What have you got? If you're going to create art, if you want to create art, find what you have in the room right now and do something creative with it. And don't worry at all what it looks like. Just start creating. Start the act of creation. It's the act of creation that saves your soul, not the perfection of the result. Now, okay, so that's the painting. And something about the singing. I'll go back and find something about the singing.
I'd love to know what art you make or which words you choose. It would be really cool.
Oh, the girl, Ariel will send you the paintings,
Cool.
Yeah. And that's what I'll make a business out of, the paintings, I've supported myself for the last 30 years selling artwork, and so, but now I'll sell mine. And so, because I think art people will get a kick out of how I do it. Record the session, here's the inspiration, here's the context, here's the intention, and here's me doing it, and there it is. You got a little QR code, you can see the whole story.
So good, it's so good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
How fun.
Yeah, exactly. How fun. Yes. So tomorrow morning, when you think back, oh, I wish I'd have asked him about this. Where's the part of you that, is just doesn't see how it's going to work out the way you want it?
You're inviting that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. This part of me is like, oh, you answered it in the first 3 minutes of, just breathing, landing in the divinity, and I found peace in that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm hearing your story about your wife and the song, and I'm in a relationship, and I'm scared and I'm confused because I don't want to give up on another beautiful human, who's a human, and so much more. And
but it's not working. And I don't know that I've ever been in a relationship with someone who cared about why I'm not singing. You know, they're not paying enough attention to, which is like so obvious. You know, when I say, talk about how much I love this. And I'm scared to let go.
Yeah. Okay. So consider this. I don't know whether you should let go or not. It's not for me to say. But but where it is for me to say, is if you do let go divinely. You know, Ariel's made a recording of this. Hopefully you can use it to repeat and deepen your experience of sitting in your divine nature, your divine truth. The process is kind of like this, you know, you open and surrender when you're lost, when you're confused, when you're sad, when you're angry. You know, your state of consciousness is at a very base level. And from that, there's nothing you can do except for one action, that's surrender. You know, and whatever your tradition is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if there's no tradition and you don't even believe in God. All you have to do is acknowledge the fact that there's some consciousness somewhere at some space and time, some being in history that was extraordinary and exceptional. You can always find something to give some reverence to, give some acknowledgement to say, okay, there's my example. And by example is you don't go read their book and you don't go figure out what all the exercises are. The energy's there. The being is there. Whatever beings that you honor because of their unconditional love, because of their divine presence, reach out and find them. Now, you don't have to reach out very far, because as soon as you reach out with that attention, you know, you'll notice that they're right here and right now. And if you notice them anywhere else, even across the universe, you know, you're noticing is from there also. And so, yeah, you're an omnipresent consciousness as well. So, where are you going to turn your radio receiver to? What channel? You're going to change, you're going to choose a channel that's polarized, that's right, that's good.
Yeah, something right now, I'm not available for that. Okay, I believe you can.
Or are you going to be in the middle of the stars like your daughter? Yeah, out in the universe, a star wearing a cloak of stars, right? Yeah.
I believe that I'm not available right now. Thank you.
So, you know, I have done a bunch of relationship advice years and years and years ago. It was with couples that wanted to stay together. And there were a few simple things that seemed to always work. And one was respect, you know. respect and attention. You know, here's a divine, beautiful being in a state of over-identification and confusion that sees virtually the only thing is that he's a male human and he has work to do and he has troubles and he has someone at home that is also troubled and he doesn't know what to do to help. All he can do is sit in his own pain and his own trauma and say, you know, what can I do? You know, and so the natural thing in that situation is to hang out with the guys, you know, watch some sports, have a beer, eat a pizza, you know, be with some people who aren't judging him, and you know, forget about life for a while. Now, I'm moving into a space where I can't wait to feel everything about life, because I've been hiding from it my whole life too, one way or another. And I'm ready to have a sensual experience with this reality, to see its beauties and to see its life and death struggle for success and meaning and you know, because what is it? You know, why are we here? You know, I'd like to think that we're here at a point in time where the divine finally takes responsibility for the living.
For the living?
Yeah.
For the loving?
For the living beings that we are, you know? And so I'm not complaining about something else. I'm acknowledging the man that I am and the man that I've been and the identification that I've taken on and the actions and inactions, all of it. And that's what stops the arrow that's flying through the air, is you give it a completion. You know, I am what I am. I've done what I've done. And if my life ends today, how I am right here and right now is the completion of what I came here to be. So if you can come to terms, can you hear me? Yes or no? No audio?
I can hear you.
She can't hear me. Oh,
Yeah.
there.
I know.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Ariel.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
So
saying yes to life in its fullness.
Yes. And it was either that or literally die, you know?
Right. Right.
So and to take responsibility for a life that's the point where it doesn't matter if you live or not. You know, there's a lot of incongruencies and a lot of failures and a lot of darkness. And but it is worth doing. You know, because for whatever reason, I can't change bodies. I can't, you know, I was on a mushroom journey, another one, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago, 15 years ago. And I expanded out to the middle of the universe, and every star was an individuated consciousness. And I felt myself connected to everyone everywhere, and I felt billions of conversations going on between me and everything else at the same moment, somehow. And then I started putting extra attention on one point or another, and it was like I got sucked into that reality, into that being, and experienced life as them.
My love. Is he making dinner? You may ask him for strawberry yogurt, and he can hand it to you, and you can get a spoon, and then I'm happy to help out after, okay? How's that? And my love, I told you I'm doing something important, and I asked you. Okay, you may ask him for strawberry yogurt, and you can get a spoon, okay?
Bye-bye.
Love you. And give Lucy a kiss for me. Is he okay? Yeah. We can bring him if he needs to.
So, no dramatic life choice changes until you finish your integration. That's my advice.
Until I finish my integration?
Yeah, until you integrate enough of your truth into you that you're moving wisely and in your power. Okay?
And that what?
And when you do that, you'll be able to let go of that deep well of frustration that you have with your partner. You know, for your own freedom, you have to let that go. You know, so just feel it. And no matter how bright it is for you to hold on to the wrongness of the circumstances, don't do it. Just nothing disturbs your peace. Now, if you're here, you're present, then you can communicate from there. And you can say, hey, you know I married you, right? I want the best of you. Not just for me. I want that for yourself. I want you to be happy. I want you to be whole. I want you to be complete. And what we're doing together and what we're doing separately has me frustrated. And what I want is not for me to be happy and for you to be frustrated. I want you to be happy, fulfilled, realized, dynamic, at peace. I want to respect you. I want to love you. I do respect you. I do love you. I want you in your mastery. I want the authentic you. I want the divine being that I imagined to myself that you were beyond this life. I want that me to be me, and I want that you to be you, and I want myself to embody that. And I want you to want to embody that for you. And I'll do anything I can to help you. I don't know what that is, but I'm taking the step myself. I'm changing my actions in these ways so that I respect myself, so that I honor myself, so that I love myself, so that I feel like I'm cherishing my experience of having this beautiful body and these beautiful kids. I'm choosing to experience joy with them. And I'm choosing to experience joy with you. Now man up and be joyful with me. I mean, you already got him. You might as well just tell him to go ahead and open up so you can enjoy him. Right? If you still want to let him go after that, but at least you left a whole person that wasn't broken so that somebody else could enjoy him. Right? I mean, you did your job as a woman, you fixed him. Okay, so at any rate, I'd love to talk to you some more. I way overcommitted myself. You know, usually I don't stop talking until somebody just says, David, please stop. I can't listen to another word. But I've got some new friends that are living life in a way that I respect, and you know, they're doing a ceremony tonight. I told them I'd come, even though it started an hour ago. You know, I said I'll be late, but I'll be there. So I don't have unlimited time to chat with you, but I have a really open schedule, and I'd love to talk to you some more.
Okay, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
And for future times of sharing time and space and all that is before, during, and after that, I am flexible. And I don't hold to keeping my word and showing up in the way that I'm grateful for today. And I honor also going with the flow, and you know, to thine own self be true, and then thou canst be false to any other man. And so if today had been hey, can we do this another time, it ultimately would have been blah 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 better for me too. And I'm grateful for today immensely. And I celebrate that you have friends that are up to things that lift and inspire and interest, and invite you to celebrate that with sweet joy.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you for showing up today. And yeah, I'm flexible. So.
Okay, excellent. Well, Maddie and Ariel manage my life now, and any time that they say is good is good for me.
Okay.
And so to be continued, and hopefully there's something that in the meantime, you know, we both are opening and growing, and then when we come back together again, we go, wow, okay, that's the level we're going to play on. Okay, I'm game. All right. Because that's what we want to do. Okay, where can we match? Where can we share consciousness? You know, are we going to dwell on our problems, or are we just going to open up and celebrate the fuck out of the fact that somebody sees us clearly? Okay, so something like that, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.